Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Maximum warp. Punch it. Punch it.
Punch it, Bishop!
Punch it.
Punch that shit!
Let's punch it.
Hello, everybody at home, and welcome. This is Punch It, Writing in Star Trek. I am your co-host, Tristan Riddell, and with me, as always, is...
Charlene Schmidt.
Charlene Schmidt. Today is a big day for us for multiple reasons. Two really big ones, one bigger than the other. But first, I'm going to talk about the topic, and that's one of the reasons why this is such a big podcast, because this is going to be our most indulgent episode we've ever done in the history of podcasting between the two of us. Not just in Punch It Writing in Star Trek, not just in Punch It Writing in pop culture, not just into the journey. This week, this episode, what we're going to be doing is we're combining three of our favorite things about podcasting. And that is a what if storyline, creating a story on the fly, and shipping Janeway and Chakotay.
Check, check, and check.
So the big topic is, what if Janeway and Chakotay canonically had a relationship during the show's run? None of this behind the scenes or like when they were only off camera stuff. No, they had a relationship. The writers built it in. So we're going to be creating that storyline on the fly today. And Char, besides that, you have a whopping announcement.
Yes, indeed, I do. So first off, I want to say we're coming back after a break. Holidays got really busy, so you and I just had to kind of put things off to the side because life was insane. And that leads up to this announcement, which is this is going to be the last Punch It. We're going to wrap this one up, and then you and I, we're going to do something in the future because I have said for many years, I want to be 85 and still collaborating with you on some kind of project. As long as we're both kicking around on this earth, let's be making things. But it's become a lot harder in our lives to put out Punch It on a regular basis. And we kind of feel just like maybe the show has run its course and it's time to reinvigorate ourselves, come up with a new project. And so you and I are not going anywhere. But this is going to be the last Punch It, and we'll come back and announce the next big thing when we've got it, but we're talking about that right now. We haven't struck gold.
This is the 134th episode, and that is nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of episodes. And with our To The Journey show, we made it almost to 200, but not quite.
190.
And 190, yeah, we were so close to 200, but we ended the show, even though we could have done it for 10 more episodes, we ended the show when it was the right time. And Char and I have been talking for a long time. And even though we thoroughly enjoy doing this show and we thoroughly enjoy interacting with you guys, our loyal listeners, getting your emails, getting your tweets, getting your messages, we feel like the show itself, every show has a shelf life. And this show is not exempt from that. And so we want to take the energy we still have and move it into a different form. Now, Char, you still have Babel for 5.
Yes, I do.
On the network, it's your video show about Babylon 5 that you do with your husband. And I am developing some new projects right now. Nerd Nuptial is on hiatus, which is kind of most likely 99% going to just be a permanent hiatus. And so I'm developing a new project with my wife. I'm also developing another side project. That's all going to be made clear soon. And so it's really just trying to add more variety to the network and trying to add a little bit more variety in our own creative lives.
Yes.
And we hope that you follow us on whatever endeavors we take. We hope that if you're listening right now, that you'll consider paying attention to the network and seeing what we do in the future. We have no timetable on that, but whatever we come out with, it'll be something that we're passionate about. And there's so many other things on the network right now that you can and should be listening to. Like if you want Star Trek, there are other Star Trek shows on the network. You should be listening to SETI Alpha 3. It is a great show that gives you Star Trek content every single week. And we also have Star Wars shows. We have a Harry Potter show. We have a Doctor Who show that is really buzzing right now. And we have so many different other things. And we are just going to be continually adding that to the network as we move forward. But that is one of the reasons why we wanted to really go out with a bang and do something super self-indulgent. This is like hot cocoa in bed during a rainstorm while watching your favorite Star Trek episodes. That's what this episode is about.
Yes, this is the ultimate Shar and Tristan podcast trope, if you will.
Yeah. You're under a weighted blanket. You have the heat cranked to 1,000, and this is just pure comfort food.
It is. So if you're not into this, we really apologize. We are being indulgent here. We're completely self-aware on that front. We're doing it anyway. So as we transition into our topic, like we said, just hope that you continue to pay attention and look forward to what we're going to be having coming out. So as always, go to thenerdparty.com for your updates. Follow us on Facebook. Just search for The Nerd Party. Follow us on Twitter @JoinNerdParty. Follow us on Instagram. We're all over the place. That is the place to find us is on social media and by continually going to the website and seeing what's new. That's right. So with that, shall we get to our topic at large?
Let's do it. So again, this is a on-the-fly discussion. You and I have not talked about what we wanted to do. We haven't discussed any kind of outline. All we've said is the what-if scenario, the what-if question. So once again, it's what if Janeway and Chakotay literally had a relationship, like an actual romance, not just innuendo, not just behind the scenes, not just off camera, but on screen, in canon, on the show. What would that look like?
That's right. No maybes, an absolute yes or no, and we're going toward yes. So, of course, the very first question we have to answer for ourselves is, when is this going to happen?
Yes, that's always, whenever we have a what-if scenario, so it's always like, okay, so when? And it can't be season 1, obviously, and I don't even think it should be season 2. I'm thinking season 3 is a nice sweet spot.
Bingo, because that was kind of the height of the intensity of Janeway and Chakotay and their little bit of a flirtation. I mean, things kind of get going. The ball starts rolling in seasons 1 and 2, and then we get resolutions. And then after that, I'm sorry, like it or not, things did change between those two. There was something going on. And so that makes it the perfect candidate for saying, let's go for it.
So resolutions was season 3. I completely forgot that.
No. It was season 2, the very end of it, right before basics.
Oh, okay. All right. I misheard you there. Okay. Fantastic. Perfect. Okay. So we're in a post-resolutions world.
Yes.
A post-basics world. We're in season 3. Now, obviously, before we get into like the nitty-gritty details, they would keep this a secret.
At first, yeah.
At first, yes. But the thing is, it's Voyager. You can't keep secrets on Voyager.
Heck no. So they're going to get caught.
Hardcore. Like, that's...
Harry. It's got to be Harry.
All right, so they're... Okay, so they keep it... It's post season 2. We're in season 3. They keep it a secret. They eventually get caught. And you want it to be Harry. All right, so we have that. So let's talk about the beginnings.
I just want to torture Harry. I'm sorry. This is so indulgent.
Now, actually, before we talk about the beginnings, I thought like, let's start at the beginning and go forward. I think it would be interesting if the reveal to the crew was the reveal to the audience.
Oh, totally. That would be fun.
Yes, so that like when Harry caught them or saw something like quote unquote inappropriate. Well, I guess it would be inappropriate.
Kinda. I mean, these are consenting adults, but nevertheless, a bit of a shocker.
Well, no. I mean, like from the whole military perspective, from the Starfleet perspective.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's that stupid made-up Starfleet regulation that says you can't do this all of a sudden.
Right. Exactly. So, like, we're going to have to deal with that. There's going to be some backlash. There's going to be some awkwardness. But I think it would be interesting if we found out along with the crew. And so I know that some people will probably feel like they were robbed of the natural origins of Chakotay and Janeway, but I think it would be a lot of fun for them to say, like, for somebody to say, well, how long has this been going on? Like, 6 months. 6 months!
It would be really cool if you could cleverly insert little, very subtle body language cues that, yes, they have gotten closer over that time, but if you're not looking for it, you don't see it there.
You mean like they actually did in the show, because Janeway always has an excuse to touch Chakotay?
It's so true. She does. Yeah, but maybe like even just the slightest hint of a more intimate gesture or something like that, where you could write it off. Like, oh, that's just Janeway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're really reading into it, and of course, there's already shippers going at full force at this time, writing the fanfic, doing all the things, talking about it on message boards. They're going to latch onto this. Like, okay, come on. Do you not see what I see? This is what's really going on. And then so it's going to be a moment of either surprise, if you're not really paying attention, or it's going to be triumph. Like, ha, I knew it. You see?
So now that we've established that the reveal is going to be a surprise to the crew and the audience, let's talk about the behind-the-scenes origin. Let's talk about how it actually happened between the two of them, even though we're not going to see it.
Okay.
I think the obvious thing would be one of their dinners. You know, like he went over for dinner and like there was candlelight and all of a sudden music was playing and smoochies. But
I think we need to do something different. It needs to be unexpected. It needs to be a moment of pure, spontaneous surrender. And I think that would be a lot of fun. Where I don't want it to be on an. I know, I can't believe I used that word because that's such a fanfic word. But I don't want it to be.
You have come a long way, sir.
I have over the past couple of years. I don't want it to be on an away mission, because we did we did resolutions. You know, like resolutions was that off of Voyager. I want it to be on Voyager, but I don't want it to be one of their dinners because it's too obvious. It's lazy.
Yeah, it's got to be on Voyager, and it's got to be while they're kind of trying to still adjust to life, and they've got to turn that corner where now that they are back on the ship, okay, is this going to be the new normal? Are we really going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be their first kiss.
Yes.
So, and what if it's in the ready room, where like that's a very obvious breach of protocol?
Ready room.
Let's think about that. For some reason, my brain went to an isolated spot in the ship, like the cargo bay at Jeffrey's tube. I don't know, but let's play around with
why?
ready room. I don't know, because I'm not saying we should do it. I'm just saying that's where my brain went. It feels off the cuff. It feels spontaneous. Like in the ready room, it's her turf, you know? Like it's her intimate space. It's her. She has the best ready room out of everybody.
Oh, totally.
It's comfortable. It's where she paints. It's where she practices her serve. You know, it's
True.
I want something that's a little bit more neutral ground, but we could take it in a different way. I mean, again, I'm not saying we can't do the ready room. I think.
Okay, hang on.
Here's my problem. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, no, go ahead. Make your case.
Well, my problem is because it's her space, I feel like because she's the captain, to go after Chakotay would be even more of a wrong thing because he is the subordinate. So I feel like Chakotay is the one who has to make the first move, and she has to be the one that says yes, not because of the male-female thing, just because of the captain-first officer thing. And for him to make the first move in her space feels a little weird to me. And so that's why I was thinking something along the realm of neutral ground. That's the only reason. I'm not saying we have to.
Okay, you make a very good point, and I do feel like no matter who makes the first move, if they were to be in the ready room, it would feel invasive. But that, in part, I think sets off that red alert, right? Oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Can we do this anymore? I mean, or do we have to leave that behind where they have a very contemplative discussion about their relationship? Are they going to do this or aren't they? Also, there's always the danger that they might get caught in the ready room.
Right. It's right next to the bridge. Like, it's a horrible place to do it.
Right. I mean, Tuvok could walk in at any moment, and I have a feeling that would occur to Janeway, and she'd be so super hyper vigilant, paranoid about it.
So was that yes for the ready room, or was that a no?
I'm making my argument as to maybe why we could do it there, but I like your point as well. So, I don't know. I feel like the cargo bay or a Jeffries tube is a little too secluded, can we meet somewhere in the middle?
Ooh, astrometrics.
That's not a thing yet, technically.
Damn it.
Not till season 4.
You're right. Crap. That
I
would have been
know.
the perfect place.
Okay, so what else have we got? The mess hall is way too public.
Mess hall's way too public. Maybe engineering because that has multiple levels where you can't see everything everywhere.
Maybe. I mean, we'd have to find a way to lure Chakotay down there. He doesn't usually do the engineering things. That's usually Janeway and B'Elanna. And that's entirely another genre of fanfic.
So we have the underused science lab.
Yeah, the what?
I know,
On the
like
science vessel that we never go to.
right. We saw it like once or twice.
When even? I don't even remember.
In it was either it was, I think it was called Drone, like the 29th century drone one.
Okay.
Where we had
I don't doubt you. I'm just trying to think, when the heck did that even happen?
I know. It's when the Doc's mobile emitter shot tubules out of it, and then we had the fetus grow. That was in a science lab. I think that was the first and only time we saw the science lab.
Okay. So, that would be okay. Janeway is doing some cool scientific thing, studying a molecule of some sort. Chakotay goes in there. So that's where you've been all day. Blah, 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 blah.
Now, we don't have to do this. It's just an idea.
I like where it's going.
Okay.
Let's stick with it for now.
Okay, so science lab. She's a scientist, so she's getting all hot and bothered by the science. She's like, oh my gosh, discovery.
Yeah, she's hot. She's sweaty. She's been working really hard.
She's fanning herself because the molecules are moving faster and faster.
In so many ways. Man, you really have been really getting into the fanfic, haven't you?
I haven't read a single word of fanfic.
Liar.
I'm being honest. I'm just going with it.
Okay, but I mean, you really should write fanfic because you are so on point right now.
I know. So they're in the science lab. Why is she in the science lab? Why is she there? Why is the captain of the ship there and no one else is there?
Okay, maybe it's something really subdued where things are really quiet on the ship. And so she's taking a little bit of liberty and saying, hey, we're cataloging some whatchamacallit from this nebula we just passed. Chakotay, you have the bridge. While things are quiet, I want to do the analysis on it. And it turns out she's been down there for hours because she's so incredibly fascinated. So he's going down there himself after his shift to investigate what's got her so hot and bothered.
I want to take that and then run with it a little bit more.
Okay, do it.
So say that Janeway has been spending a lot of time in that science lab. It's kind of become her science lab.
Okay.
She is developing something to help the ship, and but she won't tell anybody about it.
Secret project.
It's a secret project, and she keeps working on it for such a long time. Just Chakotay's like, I've had enough. And so he goes into the science lab, is like, what are you working on? And she's like, it's not ready yet. Stop it.
And she says it's something for the ship, but it turns out to be something for Chakotay. Like,
oh, okay.
Something that is, how do I put it? Like something that is intimate without being overly intimate. Like something that shows that she really, really knows him.
Like the bathtub.
Yes, it is her version of the bathtub. You know what? Let's even say that that's why she did it. She's like, you spent so much time making me a bathtub, showing that you cared. I never got to repay the favor. This is my way of repaying the favor.
Oh, I have an idea. I really want to turn the tables on Chakotay, where she's doing the secret project and she won't say a word about it. He can't see anything. Like, hey, you're not allowed in here. And she should have locked the door, but that's beside the point. And so she basically says to him, yeah, okay, you remember the bathtub? How much suspense you put that on me? Well, how do you like it, huh? Mm-hmm. What if that creates that intimate moment where suddenly they're just like, oh, the bathtub.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, it's very much like she makes something and she brings up the bathtub and he talks about how hard he worked on it. And then they have that moment and Chakotay just freaking goes for it. He's like, I can't stand this anymore.
I think they both have to mutually go for it. Like they realize the moment and then they impulsively just lean in and go.
Yeah, love it.
But then they catch themselves. Oh, holy crap. What are we doing?
Do we have somebody walk in on them but not notice what they're doing, but like open the door and then they stop, or do they just stop?
I don't think that happens yet. I think maybe they get caught a little later. They've got to have this discussion first.
I'm not saying they get caught. I'm saying that's why they stop. It's because someone opens the door.
Nah. No, I think they catch themselves. This time.
I think that's a much more powerful moment, like you said, like to catch themselves, because I want Janeway to kind of stop cold, take a step back, and like we just see the emotion drain from her face where she just goes, boom, Captain.
Yes. Yeah, those higher brain functions kick back in and sit down. We got to talk about this.
I don't think they talk about it right away. I think she like has that moment, and then all of a sudden she changes her language. Commander, like I need to go here, and he's like, oh, you just called me Commander. Okay.
Wait, yeah, okay. I kind of want to see Chakotay observe Janeway's reaction, and then he kind of cowers. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'll go. And then I want her to kind of reach out like, no. Come back. Hang on. We need to address this right now.
No, I don't think it. I think that conversation needs to happen. But as an audience member, we need a moment to go, what the hell just happened? Like we need that moment to digest.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
So
wait. What if Janeway goes to Chakotay's quarters later that night after they've cooled off a little bit and had some time to think?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I mean. Something like that is fine.
Okay.
Like they need to have that conversation. We can have it soon.
I'm thinking like next scene, but
yeah,
it's a different place.
It's a different venue. It's out of it needs to be away from the science lab. Do we care what she's making? Do we need to spend the mental power to create that?
No,
okay.
I think that ship sailed. We're done.
All right, whatever. It's a MacGuffin. Yes, so they kiss. Janeway immediately, like not immediately, but like
she reacts.
She thoroughly enjoys herself and then moves away, shuts down, just boom, shuts down. But Chakotay doesn't shut down. He goes, oh crap. Like I'm totally going to lose my job. Like something like that. And then she says, she's like, Commander, that'll be all. Thank you for stopping by. And he's like, oh crap. All right. Yep, I'm gone. Okay, later. And then he gets out. So do we want it to be in his quarters? Does Janeway want to be seen walking into the XO's quarters?
Oh, there's many reasons why that might be happening that have nothing to do with them personally. So sure. It's not like she's going there with a rose behind her back.
What if we make it his office instead of his quarters?
That feels so formal. No. I want it to be intimate, and I want her to be the one reaching out.
Okay.
And I have a feeling he's not expecting her to come by.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he thinks, like, oh, well, we're never going to talk about this again.
And she's just like, absolutely not. We must discuss this right now, or I can't sleep tonight.
Right. I think that's absolutely what happened. I think Janeway would be like, no, we need, like, I think Janeway comes in and she's like, I need to talk to you. And Chakotay's like, listen, it's okay. Like, we don't need to say anything. We'll never talk about it again. It'll never happen again. And she's like, let me finish.
Yes.
And she's like, you know that this will happen again. I'm the captain of the ship. You are the first officer. And it's not like we can change things around where we're not going to spend that much time with each other. We're constantly be spending time with each other. And he's like, but what of the rules, Catherine? What of the rules? And
she's like, I know. This sucks.
I know, right? And so she's like, this afternoon, I was researching the Starfleet database looking for loopholes.
Yes.
And I think, I don't think we find any official loophole.
No?
I don't think we make it official. I think we use the Delta Quadrant as the excuse.
Well, what if there is one little thing that says, under extraneous circumstances, blah, blah, blah? Or is it more of a thing of, hey, we're in the Delta Quadrant. This is not the first time we've had to make our own rules out here.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Starfleet regulations have no idea what our situation is like. I kind of prefer that. How about you?
I am 100% behind you on that one. I think she finds some sort of regulation that is totally not about relationships, where it's about like under extraneous circumstances when a ship is on its own, like the captain uses their judgment for X, Y, and Z or something like that. And Chakotay's like, that is for, if I remember correctly, that was for tactical situations and survival of the crew. And she's like, well, I'm amending it or something, like she says something like that.
Janeway would definitely say that. I love it. And maybe that is enough regulation-wise for them to be at peace with it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly for Janeway, because and then they have to discuss, we're doing this, right?
Right, yeah. I think it's so we're doing this, right? Like, I think they go back and forth like arguing the rules, and then they both finally agree on Janeway's interpretation, and then Chakotay's like, what just happened? Like,
yeah. Yeah, quick recap. What in the world is going on?
Yeah, are we together? Are we doing this? What do we call it? And
yeah. And then do we tell the crew and blah blah blah? And so maybe at this point, are they still trying to maybe keep it low key? They don't want to tell anybody. They don't want to be open about it. They just maybe kind of want to see where it goes.
Yes, I think that's what they do. And I think they just see where it goes, and then they continue to enjoy themselves. But like nothing happens that night.
Yeah, I agree. That's good. I
think Janeway's just, and maybe Chakotay starts to kiss her, and then Janeway kisses him back, but she goes, okay, I'm gonna go.
No, you know what? Maybe they don't even go that far in this discussion where we have to do a Star Trek thing where a handhold is the equivalent of a kiss. It's just, it's so intimate.
Okay. So
but there's a solid, clear definition of what the relationship is now.
Yes. And I think this would be a great flashback in the reveal episode.
Okay.
I think that's how we would handle it. So I think...
Yeah.
So I think that they would start this in season 3, but the reveal wouldn't happen until season 5.
Ugh. 2 whole seasons, you wicked.
I know. I think this is the thing. So we wouldn't reveal this to the audience until season 5.
Ugh.
And that's how crazy it would be. And so when Harry discovers them, and you know how I joked about 6 months earlier, they say 2 years, and he's like, 2 years.
I just want to see the bridge crew with all of their jaws on the floor.
Yeah, I think, okay, so
except for Tom, who's been taking bets, and he won.
I want to see when the group finally when somebody says it in the mess hall to the core group, you see Tom come in and he's getting some Leola root stew, and he hears them whisper and he's like, called it.
I love it. Or he kind of leans into Neelix. See, I told you.
Right. Something to that effect. Is season 5 too late?
Yes and no. I mean, that is a long time, and you're also tapping into the whole will they or won't they possibility for the shippers, which it's exciting, and at the same time, so many other shows do this and drop the ball. But I love the idea of them actually going for it and not keeping us in suspense.
Yes.
Because a lot of shows make that mistake where it's either they're going to subvert expectations and say, nope, not doing it, nothing's there, or they completely screw it up when they do finally go for it at the very end. I feel like one of the very few shows that did this effectively, at least to some point, was The Office with Jim and Pam.
And they had that kiss pretty at the end of season 2, I think.
The end of season 2, and then they played around in season 3 where Jim left, got another girlfriend, and they toyed around with the will they or won't they. They really did stretch that out. But when they finally did bring them together, they finally went for it, thank goodness.
Yeah.
They didn't have any nasty breakups or anything like that, and I want Janeway and Chakotay to have that relationship like that, where they're solid, and, you know, as emotional as relationship is, it's not going to affect the running of the ship, because they've had to be very overly cognizant of that, and the last 2 years maybe can serve as proof of that. Maybe Janeway has sent Chakotay to some sort of deadly mission several times at this point, and no one's the wiser. Now, inside, she's probably flaming and is in a lot of turmoil, but she knew that was a consequence of this whole thing. Now, can they handle it? They've proven to themselves yes. So when the cat's finally out of the bag, the crew trusts them that this is going to continue. It's going to be fine.
I love all of that. All of that. I think that's going to be a conversation like when they finally, like, I think they call a staff meeting. They call a bridge crew staff meeting because it's like, okay, it's out and all of you need to be aware of this. And like maybe even one person chimes in and says, Captain, there's no need for this. It's not our business. And she's like, actually, it is your business. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part of it, but that's a necessary part of it. You are our bridge crew.
It's not sad. It's difficult.
Well, no, it's sad because they have to involve other people. That's why it's sad, because they don't get the privacy that they wanted, that normal people do, the average person does, because they're the captain in XO. And so, like, maybe B'Elanna is the one who says, like, listen, it's none of our business. And Jane was like, it is your business because you're the bridge crew. You're in charge of running this ship, as are we, and this affects the running of this ship. And then they talk about it. They talk about when it happened. That's when they say the whole 2 years thing. And that's when, like, people go, oh, my God. And
2 years.
And so somebody says, wait, so 6 months ago, when you sent Chakotay on X, Y, and Z mission, we weren't sure he was going to come back. And she's like, yeah, that's right. It's like, so you sent him thinking that he might die. She goes, yes, I did. And Chakotay's like, that's when it was, and like people look at Chakotay and he's like, yeah, that's the job. And we proved to ourselves that we could do it.
Yeah. So if there's any debate about whether or not this is going to make them less competent, right? It's been done. It is
done. Yeah,
they've already proven to themselves and to their crew that they can send each other into danger knowing full well what could possibly happen and how that might affect their relationship, blah, 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 blah. That's just the way that has to be. That has to be the nature of their relationship if they're going to do this.
Right. And I think maybe like Janeway and Chakotay say, like, nothing's going to change. Like, you're not going to see us together as a couple. Like, it's still going to be in private. And they kind of go, come on.
I want to see Tom just immediately come out with that kind of an outburst. Like, oh,
yeah.
Captain, please. And, one thing to be cognizant about is that by this time, Tom and B'Elanna are also in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I want to see those two really happy for these two. Like, look, entering into a relationship has been one of the happiest moments of our lives. We're happy for you if this is giving you fulfillment. I feel like the crew should give them the blessing.
Yes. And that's the thing. That's what I was going towards. I think the crew, the bridge crew especially, gives them their blessing and says, listen, we don't know how long we're going to be out here. We could be out here for the next 70 years. Does that mean that, like, you guys
need to be alone or hide it for the next 70 years?
No, it doesn't work that way. You guys are humans. You guys need attachments.
That's what it means. And yes, it's against Starfleet regulations, but Starfleet regulations never guessed that we'd be out here in the Delta Quadrant on our own, becoming a family.
Right. And I don't know who would say this, but I kind of feel like someone should say, hey, look, as the years have gone on, a lot of people have paired off. Why should it be any different for the two of you? You deserve happiness, companionship. You deserve a life outside of your job because of the situation at hand. Like, I feel like they're going to really, like, Janeway and Chakotay are probably going to be really uptight and wondering how this is going to go down. I have a feeling they're going to expect some backlash, especially from Tuvok, who will probably have some snarky comment they're not going to appreciate. But then maybe Tuvok is the one who flips the script and shoves it in their face and says, no, this is great. You two have been really at peace, and I've been wondering why. Well, this must be why.
The idea that I had pop in my head, I wanted Tuvok to be the last person to speak also. I feel like he would be the last person, and people would notice that he was not saying anything. For the entire meeting, he was not saying anything. He was barely looking at them.
Janeway especially.
Yes. I think from that, like, she doesn't call him out on not saying anything during the meeting. She says,
okay, dismissed everyone. We appreciate your support. We'll let you know what we plan to do moving forward. You're dismissed. And then everybody leaves, including Chakotay, except Tuvok stays behind.
Uh-huh.
And then we need to have that moment between Janeway and Tuvok.
Yeah.
And so she says, Tuvok, you've been noticeably silent during this entire thing. And in his own Vulcan way, he showcases hurt.
Hurt?
Hurt.
Why hurt? Because he didn't know? Because she didn't tell him?
Because she did not tell him. And like I said, in his own Vulcan way, within the bounds of logic, within the bounds of no emotion, he showcases that he is disappointed and conflicted as to why she did not say anything.
Okay.
And he says something along the lines of, like for the past 2 years, we've gone to each other for insight, advice, solace, and not once did you even hint at this. He's like, do you not seek my counsel anymore? Do you not need me for your counsel anymore? Something like that.
Yeah, take it personally, Tuvok, yes.
Yeah, take it personally. And then that's when Janeway gets in her own Janeway mode where she's like, no, of course. No, oh my God, no. And
that was Shatner, not Janeway.
It's like I need you, Tuvok, that whole thing. And so I think that happens. And that's when she's like, I was scared that you would be disappointed in me. And that's when he says, on the contrary. You are human. You're not a Vulcan. And I recognize that. You need the attachment. You need the ability to blah, 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 blah. And so once we get Tuvok's blessing, that's when the audience can relax.
We all breathe that collective sigh of relief because, oh, thank God Tuvok approves, because without that, Janeway might not she might not keep going through with it. Because she does trust his counsel that far. She needs, and I love him having the final word.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where, like, when you're in a relationship and you could have your parents, your best friend tell you that it's a bad idea, but then there's that one person who you listen to where you're less like, oh crap, maybe this is a bad idea.
Right. So if Tuvok approves, then it's cool.
I think nothing really would change from a public standpoint. You're not going to see them have PDA. You're not going to see them hold hands while they're walking down the corridors. And
no. Honestly, I feel like that would gross us out as an audience. Just like, oh, really, guys? Please. No, it's going to be like those really intimate moments they really did have on the show, like dinners in the quarters, but they're going to be more intimate to remind us, hey, these two are in love. But it's not going to be, kissy face all the time and secret meetings in the ready room or anything like that. No, it's going to be very professional. And honestly, it wouldn't even affect the show that much.
It really, really wouldn't. I see them, like, when they go to social gatherings together, maybe they'll go arm in arm like they did sometimes anyway. And they sit next to each other at all times. They have lunch with each other in the mess hall.
Yeah.
They go to holodeck vacations together.
Yeah.
But but they're still private. They're still the captain in the XO.
Right. And duty always comes first.
Duty comes first. And so
yeah, I feel like that, honestly, for those who wouldn't want a Janeway and Chakotay relationship, I think that would put them at ease where, oh God, we're not going to see this in every single episode. They're not going to kiss each other goodbye every time. No. It would be so moderate that you'd sometimes forget it even was there.
So how do they get caught? Like, we didn't really talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I feel like getting caught, they've been really good about not getting caught for just about 2 years. Would it be something as stupid as the turbo lift? Where they do sneak a kiss and the doors open and there's Harry? I feel like that's a little too sloppy.
They would not be that sloppy.
No, they wouldn't. Okay, that makes it so much harder, though. How would they get caught?
I think that's the crazy part is, I think, so like Tom and B'Elanna totally would get caught like they did
all the
in
time.
Engineering. All the time. They can't control themselves.
I mean, all of Deck 9 knows what they're doing.
Yeah, Janeway and Chakotay,
they would totally 100% be able to keep their hands off of each other in public, in a turbo lift, in a room, anything like that. It's just like, boom, no, that just would not happen. And so the first thing that pops into my head, I don't like this idea, but this is the first thing that popped into my head, is that they're on the holodeck together for whatever reason. And they think everybody's gone. And so they just like get really close. Like nothing crazy happens. They just are really into each other. They're kissing. They're there. They're just like talking about like, am I going to see you tonight? No, actually, wait. Yes. No. They don't even get intimate. They don't even get kissy. They just, it's that they like Chakotay leans close and says like, "Am I going to get to see you tonight?" She goes, "Yeah, of course. I'll meet you in your quarters." Like that kind of conversation.
Oh, and then Harry's just kind of walking down the corridor, but he accidentally overhears, and they know that he's heard.
No, I think it needs to be like a technical Star Trek snafu. Like it can't just be somebody walking by. It needs to be like, oh, they're testing the con systems that day or something. Like Harry is in sickbay with the doc, and they say like, okay, well, we need to test this holographic integration with your program or something like that. And he's like, okay, he's like, is anyone in there? And he's like, oh, well, I just left the holodeck. Janeway and Chakotay should be right behind me. And so they do some sort of weird like transferring back and forth, and where they tap in to the system, and then like right when they tap into the system, they see that it's Chakotay and Janeway having that conversation, and they overhear it, and the doctor immediately slams the button to turn it off. He immediately turns off whatever interface they had, and to peek in on them, and then I think the doc turns to Harry and says, "You didn't see anything." Like the doc takes this super seriously.
Okay.
You're rolling your eyes at me. Why do you not like this idea?
I am, because I don't want the doctor being, I don't know, it just seems weird that because he's going to have to kind of be in on this, right? For,
yes.
Booster shots. But he can't say anything because of doctor-patient confidentiality. I feel like it just needs to be a lot more straightforward, where it's very obvious what's going on. And Janeway and Chakotay know that they have been caught. And before things get crazy, because rumors spread fast on this ship, they're going to nip it in the bud and come out with it. So let's just be direct. Harry sees himself in person. No screens, no doctor. They're just being a little too intimate. Maybe Janeway has that cute little girly, giggly laugh that she has in Resolution.
Well, okay, so here's the reason why I wanted to go the technical route. Here's why. Is because I like the idea of the Doc and Harry, because the Doc and Harry work on holographic stuff together all the time.
Yes.
And I like the idea of Harry being, like, with Harry seeing, it's going to get out. With the Doctor seeing, it's not necessarily going to get out. And so I love the idea of both of them. And because I feel like it needs to be more than one person, because people might think one person can keep a secret, but definitely not two. And so when the Doc sees it, he shuts it down. He turns to Harry and says, "You didn't see anything. Keep your mouth shut. Don't tell Tom." And Harry's just like, he's like, "Just go away." And so Doc shuts it down, and then he goes immediately to Janeway. He goes to Janeway and says, "Listen, I'm your doctor. I'm your physician, and you're my captain. And that's why I feel like I need to tell you that this was overheard." And she's like, "Oh, shit. Did anybody else see it?" And he goes, "Yes, Harry did." And she goes, "Ah, crap." And that's when
it's all over now.
And that's why she's like, okay, because if it was just the doctor, he is a doctor. He has that confidentiality, but because Harry saw it, she knows she's caught. She knows he's going to tell Tom. He knows that Tom's going to tell B'Elanna. And then it's just going to spread like wildfire.
Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this idea, but I'm willing to go along with it because I'm not that married to anything else.
Okay.
So let's go.
All right. I just felt like it was a very Star Trek thing. The formality, the eavesdropping.
Kind of is like, I don't know, whatever. It's fine.
And then that leads to the meeting. So from season 5 onward, so we have 3 seasons, 5, 6, and 7. We're rounding third here. Like we're almost finished.
Yeah.
What do we want to do with the relationship long term? Do they get married? Do they have kids? I don't think they have kids because she's still the captain.
Yeah, I feel like that for them, they contemplate it, but it's a step too far. As much as they would like to, the responsibility is far too great.
And I don't think they get married either. I want to say they get married because I feel like that might actually make things easier on them with Starfleet regulation-wise.
I mean, maybe, but I think it would have to be a little more for them because they want to. Right. Now, when would they possibly do that? Tom and B'Elanna, well, they sort of in another version of themselves get married in season 6, right? Or was it 5?
I honestly can't remember, but
yeah,
I think
So, and Tom and B'Elanna are having a baby in season 7. Does that strike up the conversation between those two of
maybe that's all that it is?
Something we eventually want to do, but then what if that leads to a proposal instead?
I think Yes, I think you're 100% right. I think you're cooking with gas on that one. I don't think we see them get married. I don't think we see them have kids. It's just with B'Elanna about to have Miral, that's when Chakotay and Janeway are just like, where's this going? What are we going to do?
Let's solidify our commitment.
Yeah. So and that's when they talk about marriage, and that's when they say like, okay, let's do this. And that is when, and that's at the beginning of Endgame, is when they talk about marriage.
Ooh.
And then past Janeway comes in, things happen the same exact way, but like Chakotay's going to die and everything like that. And
no 7 of 9 relationship.
No 7 of 9 relationship. No, screw that.
Nope.
And so that's when she starts to, instead of 7 saying, like, trying to call things off with Chakotay, it's actually Janeway trying to call things off with Chakotay.
Yeah.
And Chakotay's like, no, screw this. And she says, what about the future? It doesn't matter. We're already changing the future. That's the beauty of it. We have no idea what's going to happen. And she's like, but now we're going to be home soon. Does that change anything for you? Like, what if we actually get home tomorrow? And he says, I would marry you in the Delta Quadrant. I would marry you in the Alpha Quadrant. You know, like we do one of those speeches.
Let's get married tomorrow.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
But we don't end Endgame with a wedding. Sorry, way too sappy.
No. It's just the confirmation that it's going to happen.
Yeah, perfect. Done. And then
There
in
you go.
Nemesis, we see Janeway with a wedding ring. Done.
Yes. We like, she even makes a point of it. Like, it's like she like scratches her face or like puts her hands in front
Right?
of her
Yeah,
mouth.
she
Like,
just puts her hand up.
Hmm.
Jean-Luc, you're going to Romulus. Meanwhile, I'm going home to Chakotay.
I'm going home to Chakotay, my tattooed man.
I love it so much. Oh, we're living so many fantasies right now, and it's so beautiful.
Instead of a metal ring, it's actually his tattoo around her ring finger. That's what it is.
Oh, wow. Hot. I like it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's done. We're doing that entirely.
So that is our episode, folks. That is the most indulgent fan fiction shipping we've ever done in the history of our podcasting relationship. And we've been podcasting together for 7 years. Is that right?
Yeah, 7. It'll be 8 later this year. That's a long freaking time. A lot of episodes. And if you've made it this far with us, wow, thank you. We do appreciate you. We appreciate everybody who's gone on this ride with us. If you've submitted ideas or sent in feedback, suggestions, I'm sorry if we didn't get to your suggestions. We've had a lot in the bank, but we've really appreciated all of your interaction, kind words, your listening, your ratings, all that good stuff.
We really do appreciate it. And to echo what Shar said, like everybody who's followed us from To the Journey to Here, we've been podcasting together for almost 8 years. And that is absolutely crazy. This is going to be the first time that we have not done a weekly show together in 8 years. My daughter is only 2.
Right. Oh my gosh, think about all the changes that have happened in our lives in 8 years. I was living in Fargo. You were semi-newly married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I mean, you've bought a house, you've had a kid. I have moved to Los Angeles. It's been a crazy ride.
It has been an absolute crazy ride.
But there's still more to come. We just don't know what it is yet.
We don't know what, we don't know when, so that's why we want you to stay tuned. And we want to thank everyone at Trek.fm for helping us start a relationship. We want to thank everybody at the Nerd Party for the platform given to us. And we want to thank you, the listeners, because without this, we would just be having a conversation, just the two of us at home, which we would do anyway. And it's just, like Shar said, we thank you for submitting ideas. We thank you for interacting with us and giving us positive feedback and giving us reviews. And we love that you love us and we love you. And it's just been a heck of a ride. And
it's been fun. And we hope you'll join up for the next time, whatever it is. We'll let you know.
And whatever it is, I think we're going to punch it.
Ready for warp, sir. Let's punch it.
Join the revolution. Join the Nerd Party.